Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tribune News and Q, your go-to morning news source only here at Daily Tribune. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune page on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For our headlines, Malacanang and Senator Amy Marcos publicly clashed as she accused people around President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of neglecting him during his recent illness, deepening rifts within the Marcos family. House Majority Leader and Ilocos Norte Representative Ferdinand Alexandro Sandro Marcos III has pledged to recuse himself from discussions on the impeachment of his father, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., to safeguard the chamber's integrity. The International Criminal Court will proceed with Duterte's confirmation of charges hearing despite his camp's appeal. Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervil Jinky Britrix Luistro said the panel is ready to handle impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte. The Chinese ambassador says he would leave the Philippines with pride if declared persona non grata after heated disputes over the West Philippine Sea. The Philippine economy missed its 2025 growth target again, closing at 4.4% versus the 5.5 to 6.5% goal, reflecting weaker demand and ongoing challenges. Philippine agriculture grew 3.1% in 2025, its fastest in 8 years, driven by higher palay, corn, and sugar output, with government boosting support to sustain gains. Filipino pole vaulter E.J. Obiana wins gold at jump meeting Cottbus in Germany, clearing 5.77 meters, continuing his strong start to the 2026 season. Bernadette Pons is hoping for another championship when she returns to action with the Creamline Cool Smashers in the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference. Actress Rian Ramos and friends face a complaint alleging assault and illegal detention following an incident involving her driver and personal assistant on January 17. Today is 31st of January 2026, Saturday. I'm Gwen Bergado, bringing you this week's top stories. Let's get started. Malacanang and Senator Amy Marcos publicly clashed after she accused aides of neglecting President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. during his recent illness and urged him to distance himself from them. Palace officials pushed back, warning against politicizing the president's health. The exchange came after Marcos was hospitalized for diverticulitis, which he described as not life-threatening and from which he has resumed work. The spat underscores growing tensions within the Marcos family amid shifting political alliances and an increasingly contentious national political climate. House Majority Leader and Ilocos Norte Representative Ferdinand Alexandro Sandro Marcos III has pledged to recuse himself from discussions on the impeachment of his father, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., to safeguard the chamber's integrity. Representative Marcos said that while the rules of the House do not require him to step aside, he is doing so to preserve the integrity of the process and maintain public trust in the existing accountability mechanisms. In view of the impeachment complaints filed against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who is my father, I have decided to formally recuse myself from all discussions, deliberations, and proceedings of the House Committee on Rules, insofar as these complaints are concerned. Representative Marcos said. According to Representative Marcos, he is confident in the independence and professionalism of his colleagues inside the House. The International Criminal Court will proceed with former President Rodrigo Duterte's confirmation of charges hearing in February, even as his camp prepares to appeal the ruling that found him fit to stand trial. ICC Assistant to Counsel Cristina Conti said the pretrial chamber will move forward with a hearing while the appeal is pending before the appeals chamber. The court has set the confirmation of charges hearing on 23 February after denying Duterte's request for an indefinite adjournment, ruling that he is fit to participate in pretrial proceedings related to crimes against humanity linked to war on drugs. Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervil Jinky Britrix Luistro, chairperson on the House Committee on Justice, said the panel is ready to handle impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and Vice President Sara Duterte. Luistro said the committee's 38 members are equipped with the skills, knowledge, and background needed to process the two impeachment complaints. Her statement comes as the Makabayan Bloc, which endorsed one of the impeachment complaints filed against Marcos, also signaled plans to pursue a separate impeachment case against Duterte. The Chinese embassy in Manila says Ambassador Qin Quan will leave the Philippines immediately with pride and honor if President Marcos declares him as persona non grata, following heated exchange between embassy and Filipino officials over West Philippine Sea disputes. Embassy spokesperson Jiling Peng emphasized that only the Philippine president can issue such a notice. A resolution signed by 15 senators condemned Qing's statements as violating diplomatic norms and urged the DFA to uphold the country's dignity. The Senate is considering hearings and possible actions against other embassy officials. The Philippine economy closed 2025 below target, marking a third straight year of missed goals. The Philippine Statistics Authority says GDP grew 3% in the fourth quarter, slower than the revised 3.9% in the previous quarter. That brought a full year of growth to 4.4%, short of the government's 5.5 to 6.5% target. The country also undershot targets in 2024 and 2023. Officials say the figure reflects softer demand and ongoing challenges as the government pushes measures to support growth. Philippine agriculture, on the other hand, grew 3.1% in 2025, its fastest pace in 8 years, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. The rebound was driven by higher crop output, with palay up 3.5% and corn up 3.4%. Sugar production surged 56%, helping ease prices and raise farm incomes. The Agriculture Department credits policy reforms and targeted support despite multiple storms last year. For 2026, the government is boosting funds for farm-to-market roads, storage facilities, and disease control to sustain growth and strengthen food security. Filipino pole vaulter E.J. Obiena continues his strong start to 2026 after claiming a gold medal at the international jump meeting Cottbus in Germany. Obiena tied with men of Loon after both cleared 5.77 meters but failed at 5.84 meters including a jump off. This comes after Obiena won bronze at last weekend's ISTAF Indoor Dusseldorf with 5.65 meters. Obiena cleared heights with ease, celebrated with fans, and posted on Facebook that the win marked his first by the season, noting, "Brick by brick, we build." And for our sports news, inspired by their historic Southeast Asian Games beach volleyball gold medal, Bernadette Pons is hoping for another championship when she returns to action with the Creamline Cool Smashers in the 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference. In her return to the Alas Pilipinas beach volleyball team with Cici Rondina, Pons won gold with Dij Rodriguez, Sonny Villapando, ending Thailand's 8th edition reign. A driver and personal assistant of actress Rian Ramos has filed a complaint before the National Bureau of Investigation, accusing Ramos and her friends Michelle D. and Samantha Pandillo of alleged assault and illegal detention. The complainant claims he was attacked inside Ramos' condominium on January 17 and later attempted to take his own life. He sought help from Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption. Lawyers for Ramos, D, and Pandillo say they have not yet received a copy of the complaint. Authorities are expected to investigate the allegations. That's all for now. Join us again tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. still here on Daily Tribune Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and at Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Also catch the diva that you love, Alvin Ignacio, and Ultra Maldita, Alex Brosas, later and tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. for DTT Show on Jario Tirada's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Once again, I'm Gwen Bergado, and this has been Tribune News and Q.